Per People magazine, WWE has signed Cheers Gabby Butler, the Netflix star and tenured gymnast, opened up to People magazine, stating that she fell in love with pro wrestling after attending WWE SummerSlam in Nashville, and even she was even able to meet up with Stephanie McMahon. She got the whole treatment. It says that she will be in the Performance Center until further notice, and according to her interview, she fell in love with wrestling through that event. She was very intrigued by the athleticism, the storytelling, and she felt like she had a place. But she will be training in the Performance Center until further notice. So my question is, does this help WWE's mission of bringing in more mainstream stars?
Well, I didn't know who Gabby Butler is, but when I did a little bit of research afterward and I thought about, all right, look how wonderfully it worked out when we brought in a Logan Paul. And he's like more social media famous than anything, and then he got his extra plugs in, and then he came to the WWE. And then he thought
Mm-hmm.
about Bad Bunny. He's like an international star for his music. You don't really like see that with the females. So it's just like if they were both two game changers and they are people who the main driving point with them being successes is that they didn't come in here looking for a bag. They came in because they like were heavily influenced. It doesn't state here that she grew up being a fan, but she felt this like she kind of got the bug in her.
Mm.
you know she kind of got the bug in her, and she seemed like like, I want to do this, I'm passionate about this. And if she could come in and be passionate, that's new eyes, that's definitely new eyes on the product. She's an athlete from what you're stating, because she does cheerleading. I didn't really know much about cheer, and I looked it up, and I saw that Stacy Keebler was actually like on that list of cheerleaders. So I was like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. Very interesting." I mean, no, Stacy Keebler wasn't quite like the was a big athlete, at least in terms of WWE, but she was like a notable name. I was just thinking
Mm-hmm.
to myself that like, wow, like like she's been on Netflix. She's known for YouTube from what I saw. She's been doing cheerleading for a while. If she wants to put in the work, it might be a beautiful thing. I think she's 24 years old from also what I looked up as well. Um, that might bring in a younger audience, which is always good because the young
Agreed.
people are the future, especially of pro wrestling. I don't see anything negative about this. I mean, she's young, she's attractive, she's athletic. I was looking at her net worth. I think they said last year she made anywhere between like 1 million or $5 million or something like that.
Whew.
So I'm like, all right, this girl is about her money. She's been in this business like for a bit. Like, damn, that made me think about myself. I'm like, damn, bitch made $1 million for me. I mean, what am I doing wrong on this planet? But I was like,
That's a fact.
no,
Yeah.
let me get back on point. Let me go back on my point. Um, I think that all right, she knows about her money. She is good with business. She obviously is self aware. She got herself like a Netflix series, and she's been on more than one season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I see nothing but good things. I feel like she's gonna be cooperative. And we could definitely use another talent that is different and could give a bit of a shock to the women's division, because there's so much going on with the men's, and I love that for them, but we don't really see like that for the females. And I feel like they tried that with Nikita, because Nikita does a whole bunch of things. She was social media popping. She did do skits. She wasn't a YouTuber, but I mean she was on the Zeus network for One More Chance. Um
That still blows
and I
my
think
mind that
that
she was
they
on that show.
yeah, word. It was like it was the funniest thing. It was it's just so mind-boggling growing up watching like these two brothers on I Love New York, and then just like, watching wrestling cross this.
Right.
Like, how do we get here? I think they were looking for that with her, because there was a point where they were trying to look at different forms of media entertainment, and it didn't quite gravitate with Nikita so much. They're trying with her, but it's not really getting the pull that I think they expected with her. And how YouTube works, I mean, everyone watches YouTube. I may not have known of her till now, or of her YouTube channel, but I mean, again, if it was anything like Logan Paul, or she's getting the numbers like Logan Paul, 'cause I mean, again, that is her net worth. She's making $1 to $5 million. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? that probably that to me infers that she has a very big audience, and that's more eyes on the product. So
Hmm.
I think that what they were trying to get with her, Nikita, I'm referring to, they might be able to pull out with Gabby. And I'm actually very much interested to see how they would go about it. What do you think about her and, them bringing in a YouTuber slash cheerleader into the women's realm of wrestling?
So here's the reason why
Mm.
this piqued my interest so much, right? The first time I ever heard of cheer was through my girlfriend, right? The I'm talking about the Netflix series Cheer. She at one point was serial watching um Cheer for like a good 5 6 months, like throughout the pandemic. Like she was just watching Cheer. She was on Cheer. And my girlfriend also does not like wrestling. But if I tell her, hey, Gabby Butler just signed to the WWE, 9 times out of 10, she's going to tap in. And I think that's the point. I think that when it comes to the mainstream stars, especially people that are on YouTube, that are big into Twitch, that are big into streaming, they have a very, very large platform. They are draws in their own way, right? We saw it with Logan Paul, right? Crown Jewel became the highest viewed premium live event in the history of WWE, and I feel like a big part of that is because of Logan Paul. And I feel like they're going to continue to use this formula or this template of integrating mainstream stars while also grooming their stars to be mainstream ready. It's like a cycle, right? Like you got Bianca doing her own reality show, and you're bringing Logan Paul in, and you're also bringing Gabby Butler in, but you're also, you know, using Sasha Banks to go over here and Naomi to go over here. And it's like this one big cycle of WWE being a mainstream star factory, which traditionally it has been. When we look at sports and we look at entertainment, we got to consider WWE as a mainstream star factory. And this kind of continues in that vein. So I think, like you said, Gabby got the bug, right? She went to a live show. And we all know that live wrestling is just a different type of animal. Even if you're not interested, you can be heavily intrigued just by what you see, just by what you feel, just by and there is nothing like wrestling, right? Like there's nothing like your music hitting and you going out to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80,000 people chanting your name or singing along with your theme song. So I think that Gabby definitely has the bug in her, and I think that she's going to be integrated, and I think that this is something that we're going to see. I think that WWE is putting all chips on the table. They're doing everything. They're recruiting the best indie wrestlers. They're getting the best college athletes. They're getting the best viral stars. Anybody that's going to look good, that's going to be good in the ring, that has that it factor, that's going to make them money, they're going to put them in position to win. And I think that Gabby Butler is just one of those people who is a mainstream star that is being brought in to kind of continue this vein. But I wanted to know if you had anything else to say about it, because it looked like for a second you had something else that you wanted to say, or that something else was on
No,
your
you
mind.
kind of like hit all my points because I mean, again, she's kind of like no stranger to the camera and no stranger to attention, and like that's
Hmm.
another big thing. So I mean, it's great. It's great that she just has this backing. I feel like she's perfectly prepped. I like how you brought up Bianca because you know, she was someone who was handpicked by like Mark Henry. She was used to having eyes on her from all the things that she accomplished athletically, and look how that wonderfully worked out. And then I just love the
Hmm.
point that you had with like your girlfriend and cheer, because it made me instantly think about when I sat down with my makeup artist for my Naomi shoot, and she's like, I don't watch wrestling. My boyfriend watched wrestling at the time, and I didn't really care to watch that, but I knew who Naomi was because I love watching Total Divas.
Mm.
So, and like she already knew everything about Naomi because she didn't give a crap to watch about wrestling, but she loved the drama and the tea and just what came from that. So, I mean, just think about how that just worked out, and think about how many
Absolutely.
other girls watching. That's a great way to amp up the demographic of females watching the product. So, just yeah, like this, nothing but good things to come out of this.
I didn't even think about that, increasing the
Yeah.
demographic of women that are watching wrestling. That is actually
Mm.
100% true. But I want to know everybody else's opinions on it. How do y'all feel about Gabby Wilson, the star of Cheer, joining the WWE? But from the rise of one mainstream star to the complete collapse of another.